Hi, my name is Eric Mead, Executive Chef at Mount Carmel East Hospital, and today I will be showing you how to make asparagus and mushroom egg bites. So the first thing we want to do, we want to get a large nonstick saute pan. Want to get that over medium heat and let that start heating up. So I have that ready to go. And we have our mise en place here. So the first thing we have a large onion, but we're only going to need about a quarter of this. We have half a bunch of asparagus, standard size asparagus. I have 6 large eggs, have about 5 ounces of fresh mushrooms. We have some cheddar cheese, some salt, pepper, some garlic, some olive oil, and a couple teaspoons or tablespoons of milk. So the first thing I want to do, we want to break this onion down. So I will take my whole onion, I'm just going to cut it lengthwise right through the root. We're going to cut that in half. Okay. Then we're going to lay it on the flat side, and I'm just going to cut it down the middle one more time, and that will give us a quarter of an onion. Okay. We'll go ahead and peel that skin off. Okay, now we just want to do a small dice. So I'm going to stand it up. I will take my knife and I will slice julienne size slices, which is just like a small strip. Slice that one way, I'll turn it to the side, and I'll just run my knife through very gently to give us a small dice. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get these into our bowl. Okay, move that to the side. Now we're going to take our half bunch of bright green asparagus, and I'll turn these, I actually stand these up, get them nice and even. And we're going to cut off the woody end. So probably about 1.5 to 2 inches up. I'll go ahead and cut those down. Get rid of that. And we're just going to cut, we'll just keep these together, and we're just going to cut these into small pieces. So almost like a small dice, maybe just a slightly bigger than the onion, but it's about like this. All right. Put that into our bowl on the side. Okay, finally we have about 5 ounces of mushrooms here. I'm going to go ahead and dump those on our cutting board. And with this, we just want to get this about the size of the asparagus and onions. So since these are all like random sizes, I'm just going to run my knife through it several times just until I get like a small chop. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, I think 1 or 2 more times and we should be good to go. Just make sure we chop up some of those larger pieces. All right, so this is the base of the recipe that we're making today. The great thing about this recipe is you can use whatever veggies you'd like. If you want to put spinach in there, go ahead and put spinach. Bell pepper works great. You can use green onion. You can put jalapeno in it if you'd like. You know, whatever mood you're in, is, you know, this is a pretty versatile recipe. So, you know, you just do whatever you'd like. Okay. So also I have 2 cloves of garlic. So I'm just want to mince these up. I'm gonna go ahead and lay these flat side down on my cutting board. And I'll take my knife, side of my knife, be very careful. Put your palm flat, and you just want to give it enough pressure, and you'll hear it start to smash a little bit. Okay, this just helps you cut it up, and it minces a whole lot nicer when you need garlic. So now I'll just run my knife through it several times. Okay, 2 cloves of minced garlic, and I'll put that back in the container. All right, so now let me get a spatula out. So now what we want to do, we want to take our olive oil. We have a couple tablespoons here, and we're going to go ahead and put that into our hot pan. While that's going, also I forgot to mention, make sure you have your oven preheated to 350 degrees. We'll be using the oven today. Okay. So the first thing we want to do, we see the smoke already starting, so that's good. That lets us know that our pan is nice and hot. We want to go ahead and take our onions, put our onions in, and we're going to saute this for just a few minutes. Okay, so our onions, mushrooms, and garlic have been sauteing for a few minutes. Now, last thing we want to add our chopped asparagus. So we'll get that in there. We'll let this go for just a few more minutes just to break that asparagus down a little bit and get everything incorporated. And while this is going, we can go ahead and get our egg mixture together. So we have 6 eggs here. I'll go ahead and take these out. So we'll go ahead and crack our eggs into our bowl. Make sure you don't get any shell in there, or, you know, if you do get any shell, you can always use the cracked egg shell to fish out the small part that you may have dropped into your mixture. Okay. Okay, I'm going to get my whisk here, and I'm going to add a few pinches of salt, a few pinches of black pepper, and a couple tablespoons of 1% milk. I'll just go ahead and mix this up really well. Okay, have that ready. Let's give our vegetable mixture one last stir, and I think we're good to go. We can go ahead and turn that heat off. All right, so while that's sitting, we have a 12 portion muffin tin, and then I have some nonstick cooking spray. This is very important. This part is very important. On your muffin tin, make sure that you spray each and every individual tin. Make sure you spray it well, because you definitely do not want this to stick. If you don't spray it well, even though this is technically non-stick, the egg will stick and you'll just have a mess on your hands. So Go ahead and make sure that I spray each one really well. Okay. Now we want to evenly distribute, I'll bring our muffin tin over here. We want to evenly distribute our vegetable mixture into each one of these 12 muffin sections. Okay, so we're back. We have our egg evenly distributed over our vegetable mixture. Now the last step is to sprinkle some of this cheddar cheese on top. You can use any kind of cheese that you like. If you have pepper jack cheese or Swiss or mozzarella, feel free to use whatever your taste buds tell you. Okay, and our oven is preheated, so we're going to throw these into our oven, 350 degrees for about 15 minutes. All right, so it's been about 15 minutes and our egg bites are done. So let's go ahead and pull those out of the oven. And here we go. You can see that they rose actually quite a bit. Well, some of them did at least. So we'll go ahead and we will plate these. So be very careful. Take you a rubber spatula. Just want to go around and just kind of like pop it out. So that's why it's very important that we sprayed it very well. Go ahead and put a couple of these on a plate. Now you want to eat these as pretty soon after they come out of the oven. Much better hot. But we are done. So we have our mushroom and asparagus egg bites. Enjoy.
Hi, my name is Amy Shea and I'm nutrition faculty with Mount Carmel College of Nursing. And today we're going to discuss the asparagus and mushroom egg bites that you just saw prepared by Chef Eric. This is, I think, a really great breakfast idea. You could prepare this recipe at the beginning of the week and then have several days worth of a quick, easy breakfast to take on the go. So remember that the serving size is 2 of the egg bites. So you get 2 for all of the nutrition facts provided on the recipe. But I also wanted to talk a little bit about some of these components of the recipe and their nutritional value. So let's first look at the health benefits of asparagus. You can see on the slide they're a good source of fiber, vitamin C, and folate. And the fiber found in asparagus is actually a prebiotic fiber. And what that means is it feeds the good bacteria in our gut to help those good bacteria grow and be strong. And that helps with overall immune health and keeping our gut moving and functioning properly. So it's really good fiber in the asparagus. They're also an excellent source of vitamin K, which is important for proper blood clotting. Asparagus also provides potassium, which is helpful for blood pressure management. They're rich in something called glutathione, which is an antioxidant that helps to break down carcinogens and harmful products in our body to help kind of keep our body healthy and rid of those toxins. So glutathione is very helpful with that. So there's that antioxidant property. And again, other antioxidants are present in the asparagus, and that can help reduce inflammation. Asparagus also has a compound that is a natural diuretic, which can help to increase urination and to rid the body of excess salt and fluid if you're having issues with fluid retention. And then there's also a compound in asparagus that you might have noticed, which lends an interesting smell to the urine. And so just something to be aware of. Not everybody kind of has that reaction. Not everybody can smell it. And actually young asparagus is higher in this compound, but just keep in mind it is not a harmful side effect. It's nothing to be worried about if you notice that you have a different smell after you use the restroom. So that's kind of a little funny side effect of asparagus. You can tell when you've eaten it. Then let's also talk about the benefits of mushrooms. So they're an excellent source of zinc and selenium, both of which are very important for immune health. Mushrooms also provide vitamin D sometimes. So some mushrooms have been exposed to light and then they are a source of vitamin D. So you'd have to look at the label and see if your mushrooms fall under that category. But it can be challenging to get vitamin D, and so mushrooms could be a food source of that nutrient. They're rich in potassium as well, which again is for healthy blood pressure, and they have many different compounds that are anti-inflammatory and also are anti-cancer and have a lot of good nutritional properties. Another interesting piece about mushrooms is that they add what's called umami to dishes, and umami is sort of the fifth taste, and that is almost like a sort of a salty taste, kind of a savory taste, and it's actually makes mushrooms a great substitute for meat. So that's something you can actually play around with. You know, if you're doing like ground beef in something or a ground beef patty, you can actually cut out some of that meat and use mushrooms instead, and that would be a much better nutritional profile overall. So it's a way to reduce salt and reduce some of those animal products as well if that's something you're looking for. So overall, I think this recipe has so many wonderful nutritional aspects, and I hope you will enjoy the delicious asparagus and mushroom egg bites.